Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. Today, I'm going to share with you three news for XR. So the first one is the first Metaverse experiments look to what's already happening in medicine. Okay, so this news is on CNBC.com, and the journalist is Bob Woods. Okay, so he pretty much helped us to generate three key points. First one is the metaverse will be an extension of virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality technology already in use today, which is great. It's like metaverse will be, like the new internet, right? Before our internet is like a 2D flat version on screen, but right now the metaverse can live in like it's a digital form of the digital world, and it will have more like I would say the kind of a combination between it's like it includes virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality. So which means that you can communicate or you can collaborate through different devices and seamlessly, the user experience seamlessly to integrate those together. And the second one is Facebook and Microsoft glasses like Oculus and HoloLens already are being used in key medical technology application, from design of medical tools to surgical procedures. So what I would say is that, for all the devices, right? Because if you see Oculus, pretty much it already has the mixed reality version of it. So pretty much if you get Oculus, I know that HoloLens or Meta 2, yeah, it's all Meta, Meta 2, you can see that the quality is much better than Oculus. And especially for HoloLens, you can use hand, right? Hand gestures. So all those stuff is kind of like pretty much imagine you are wearing a computer on your hand. So I would say Oculus is probably much cheaper, right? But HoloLens, it has a lot of value start from enterprise. So later on, there was a video talking about people are suspicious about these booms for metaverse or for virtual reality or mixed reality, right? Because they think, hey, because before we got the Google glasses failure experience, so people start thinking about, well, this booming becomes like a bubble, right? I would say that, it takes a while for a technology to grow, kind of mature. And in this article, it talks about, previously for the phone at the beginning, it was for business purpose, right? And later on becomes consumer purpose, right? Now you see like HoloLens, right? According to the video inside this article, it seems like 50% of the 500 Fortune companies, Fortune 500 companies, they've already purchased, the HoloLens to help them to boost their, enterprise. So you see, like the business side, it's definitely helping it out, right? So it has a solid users to use it. And as for consumer end, you see, I would say Oculus is probably more consumer end because it has a lot of games, right? And the price is very affordable, right? And now if you go to Oculus, you can see like later on, we have another article talking about the future workplace for Oculus, right? So what I would say is that if you kind of take a look of all those aspects, you see like in the future, probably all the aspects will be covered, right? Whatever you can do in the physical world can pretty much bring to the virtual world. Okay, the third one is, it's like having a GPS navigator in front of your eyes. Okay, so as for doing a surgery, right? Before we mentioned that if you want to operate with the HoloLens, right? Operate a surgery, right? And pretty much at the beginning, you need to do a lot of scanning, getting a lot of data from the patient's current body, right? You need to do that first, and then you put the data inserting to your HoloLens, right? Then you can, all the data will mapping out exactly on the body of the patient's body. So by wearing that glass, it's like X-ray. You can see what part you need to, do the surgery, and it can prevent the error for, a lot of death during the operations. It can be prevented. So I would say this is kind of a very good good points, or very good ways for people to eliminate some errors, and especially for medical, we want 100% success, right? So, and because this is the matter of life or death, right? So this is very important. And also for training, right? It's safer environment, and also you can do a lot of, right now, there are a lot of telemedicine, right? It's, through VR, through mixed reality, it can also helps those procedures, right? And it can bring a healthier life, right? Through, tailor collaboration, tailor, operation surgery across different countries. Yeah, so I think this is definitely going to happen. Okay, so so during in this article, it pretty much talks about, like for the medical part, it accelerates people's collaboration and the accuracy of the surgery. Okay, so let's talk about another news. The next news is called, I think this one is very cool. This one, it's the title is called "The 5 Best Window Virtual Reality Apps to Boost Productivity." Okay, so this news is makeuseof.com, makeuseof.com. Yeah, and the journalist is called Jason CURRIE. Okay, so in his article, he talks about a lot of different pretty cool productivity software. I mean, I heard of those productivity softwares, but because I pretty much, when I jump into the game, jump into the virtual reality, I play games. So for those productivities, I know they exist, but I haven't really tried it, because I find out that I've already trying to escape my desktop. Why should I go to virtual reality and still doing the work? Yeah, but in the future, if you want to do the remote work, I think this is the future of the desktop. Pretty much, I would say it's a monitor, right? Like whatever you see is kind of a monitor through your VR headset. So you still need to have your desktop there, right? And it's kind of like using, VR to kind of remote, I would say it's just bring the screen to the virtual world, right? So if you see the article, I think the screen is bigger, right? And you can change the background, right? You can be in galaxy or in a forest, right? You can do whatever you want. But I would say that the reason why I am not really interested in virtual productivity for now, maybe in the future if the headset is lighter, is because it's too heavy, right? And it will, I don't know, for some reason it has heat, right? Every time when I wear the virtual reality headset, I feel like my face got a lot of press, and it's not really comfortable for me. And besides, I feel a little dizzy when I use it too much. So usually every 30 minutes, I have to rest a little bit. It's really immersive, it's great. But somehow I feel like in the real world, it provides a lot of flexibility that maybe I can look away, right? And my face won't get a lot of pressure when I work on things, right? Because you see, like working or coding is already pretty brain consuming. You don't want anything, any other physical pressure on to press your brain, right? You kind of want to be chill, right? And you know, like besides the real world, there are a lot of scenarios. For example, like yeah, Amazon, right? If they knock the door, right? And if you are in the virtual reality and you didn't hear the door knocking, then yeah, you know, you probably need to go to the post office, or you know, you need to go to the pickup place to pick up in person, which is annoying. So I would say, yeah, sometimes, you know, for working, I personally right now prefer the 2D one. I know I'm the big supporter or advocate for Metaverse, but as for working right now, I prefer the 2D version. Okay, so the second software that the author suggests is XS Overlay. Yeah, XS Overlay. This one is very interesting because I can say it's kind of a really free form for people to, you know, kind of spouting the screen, and then they can drag anywhere, and then they can you know, change the tilt mode and change, you know, anything, right? And I would say that this is an interesting device, because especially, you know, in working, right? You want, because you need to work. If you got a full-time job, you probably need to work at least 8 hours per day, right? And imagine look at that screen for 8 hours, and usually working jobs is not as fun, right, as games. So you want everything to be really comfortable and tailored to your position, right? So I would say, you know, like overlay, right? This, I would say, yeah, I mean, this is definitely a pretty good way to spawn or to create a window and for people to start, you know, browsing it. So this this has more freedom to adjust it. And Noda, the third one is Noda. I think Noda is a very interesting mind mapping kind of like VR software. So if you, you know, if you see it, you can see like pretty much you can put the actual, so kind of like a mind mapping, but in the 3D form, right? So you can navigate through the data, right? And you can get closer, get far away. And I would say it's more immersed experience for mind mapping, which is very interesting. And the fourth one is Engage. Engage, I can tell you I haven't really used Engage, but as far as I know, a lot of people, they prefer Engage. Why? Because the user experience is great, and it's really for professional presentation or lecturing, business presentation, and it has a lot of really good way. And maybe someday I will try it. Yeah, so I usually use Allspace. And then, yeah, I mean, Allspace has a lot of pretty cool stuff, and you can build the world. Yeah, and yeah, so Engage, yeah, maybe I will try. And I also try Rec Room and Chat Room. I think those are interesting, but the target audience are a bit different. I would say the Engage one will be more for work. Yeah, and the fifth one is called CalcFlow. In this app is very interesting. It's like you can pretty much, it's more specialized tool. So it allows you to kind of like do some mathematical concept in a 3D space, right? So for example, if you see the screen, it has, for example, like sine, cosine, tangent, pi, right? Equals, SI, a 10, right? All those like development or like mathematics, those stuff, you can pretty much visualize it and manipulate it, and you can see the answer. Compare with long time ago when we learned mathematics, right? We need to draw things, and especially for 3D stuff, it's really hard because without a proper training of 3D drawing, usually after drawing it, I personally couldn't even know what I was drawing. So, manipulating something existing and then see the result, it will help people to learn how to do the math. Yeah. So how to work in virtual reality. I would say, yeah, in this article, it even had a link talking about ways to keep a healthy posture while working from home. Yeah, I mean, I think, every time when I work, my arms, my neck always feel sore because of the same posture and working in front of the desk. Yeah, so I would say definitely take a look at this link, and yeah, and you can kind of improve your postures while working from home. Yeah, cool. So this is the second news. The third one is, let's see. Okay, let's talk about this one. This one is interesting. It's the news is from Eurogamer.net, and the title is called Acclaimed City Builder Cities. Skylines getting the virtual reality treatment in cities, VR. So in this article, it talks about a developer kind of create a city builder. Pretty much you can jump in to start with the VR, AR, right? And you can build different, for example, you can do the urban planning, traffic flow, utility, emergency service, entertainment, and economy. All those stuff are very interesting because when you see it, you can see like people can collaborate anywhere using any device and create very interesting, cities. So yeah, so I would say, yeah, definitely check out the cities VR. Yeah, cool. So yeah, so this is today's news, and thank you for joining me today, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.